Hey everybody, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my no makeup look. So I think we all have days where we don't want to wear a full face of makeup, but at the same time we just want a little bit of something to kind of make us look more awake, not as tired, maybe even out our complexion, and that is what I'm going to show you today. So we are just gonna go ahead and jump right into the video. Also, I feel like I have to make some sort of dog disclaimer in like every video I film. I should have filmed earlier because they were both sleeping. Now, of course, they're both playing, so I don't want to have to keep starting and stopping. So if you hear them in the background, sorry. So when I wear a no makeup look, I like to put a base on that isn't super full coverage. This just makes it look not as cakey, a lot more natural. So today I'm going to be using the Maybelline New York Dream BB Pure. So it's basically just a BB cream. I believe this is the mattifying one. I do like more dewy finishes better, so this isn't necessarily my favorite BB cream, but I do like it. It says it is supposed to help clear acne, conceal imperfections, minimize pores, reduce appearance of redness, adjust to skin tone, hydrates, smooths, mattifies, clarifies, and with 0% oils and a lightweight feel. Now that claims to do a lot. I don't know if it necessarily does all of this, but I do like this BB cream. Again, I do generally prefer more of a dewy foundation, but this is just what I had, and it's not a bad BB cream at all. I am just going to put this on like I normally would with my foundation. I'm just gonna kind of dab it on one half of my face and then blend it out with my beauty blender. Also, more recently, I've actually really been enjoying blending out my foundations or BB creams with the flat side of the beauty sponge rather than on like the edge of the pointed side. I think you can blend it out faster that way and it creates a smoother coverage. So that's kind of a change that I've been doing in my normal makeup routine. Next, we're gonna move on to concealer. I've been using this concealer for a while now. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and it is in the shade Light 10. I really do like this concealer. I think it does a really good job, especially for being a drugstore one. I've heard wonderful things about Tarte Shape Tape, and I totally have intentions of trying that. Just, you know, sometimes those high-end makeup brands aren't always in the budget. Like always, we are just going to put this in a triangle formation under our eyes to brighten under there. And then we are going to take our beauty sponge and lightly tap that out to blend. And I like to bring the concealer up onto my eyelid as well, which just gives my eyelid a bit more coverage, covers up some of the veins that are on there and everything as well. As you can see, that just brought a ton of brightness to our under eye, and it really helps highlight the high points of our face as well. If you want to add this extra step, you can. I definitely don't do this next part always, but today I'm kind of feeling like doing it, so I'm going to. If I'm in a rush, I'll completely skip this step totally. But sometimes I do like to take some of my concealer and put it just down the center of my nose and up in kind of a fanned out formation on my forehead, and then just a tiny bit on my chin as well. And this concealer is slightly lighter than my foundation, so when you blend it out, it almost gives you a tiny bit of a contoured effect. Not super contoured, but again, it just brings the light to those high points of your face and really helps brighten it and give you a natural dewy finish as well. Alright, so now that we've done that, we need to set our concealer. I generally just set my eyelids and my under eyes because that is where creases the most for me. I have gotten a new powder, guys. You should be so proud of me because I had been using that L'Oreal one for so long. You guys saw it had like the tiniest bit of product on the outer rim, but I finally got a new one. This is the Milani Shine Proof powder. It in the shade 02 Nude. it says it conceals and perfects. I really did want to get a Milani powder just because I had heard great things about that brand, and so I wanted to try some of their stuff out, so that's why I did get the Milani powder instead of trying a different brand for the translucent powder, but I have really been enjoying it. So I'm just going to take this little angled brush as normal, tap a bit onto the end of it and tap off the excess and put it on the underneath of our eyes. Now you do want to make sure any creasage that may have happened is blended out before you set it, because otherwise you're going to set any creasing that has already happened. Like there's definitely already some that's happened on my eyelid, so I'm just gonna lightly blend that out with my finger before I set that, because I don't want to set any creasing or anything like that. We don't want that to stay there. This is a step that I always do no matter how much of a rush I'm in. I always take the extra 10 seconds it takes to set your concealer underneath your eyes and on your eyelid. It just helps give you that more smooth finish. Okay, so I've just zoomed you guys in because next we are on to eyebrows. Yes, I do always do my eyebrows even if I am in a bit of a rush. The only time I really won't do my eyebrows is if I'm not wearing any makeup at all. But I know a lot of girls say their brows take them a long time. I really am not super high maintenance with my brows. Even when I do a full makeup look, I generally just follow the natural shape of my brow and fill them in, make them a little bit darker. I don't really reshape them or anything, so it's a pretty quick process for me. And for my brows, I am using the Maybelline New York Brow Define and Fill Duo in the shade Deep Brown. I feel like that just little bit of filling in makes so much of a difference with framing your face. Maybe it's all in my head, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I like it. If you want an even quicker way of doing your brows with this eye pencil specifically, it does have that other end with the sponge that has powder in it that you can always just use just to go through the center of your brows and add a little bit of definition to them that way. That would be an even quicker way. I personally have been enjoying just using the pencil side. That's been working really well for me. But the great thing with this pencil is you have both options. So since this is a no makeup look, I like to not use eyeshadow when I do a look like this. I find eyeshadow takes me a really long time because I am a perfectionist with eyeshadow. Even if I use the tiniest bit of eyeshadow, I want it to look good when I do it. So I will spend the 10 minutes necessary blending even on a small amount of eyeshadow. So if I know I'm in a rush, or even if I'm just going for that really natural look, I won't use eyeshadow because eyeshadow isn't that natural, if we're being honest. So because of that, I am just gonna go straight in with mascara. The mascara that I'm using today is the Maybelline New York, the Falsies Volume Express. You can see how this eye looks so much more awake than this eye just by putting on mascara. Mascara has to be one of my all-time favorite makeup products simply for that reason. Now, even though this is a no makeup look, I still like to really coat on the mascara. I still want my lashes to be big and voluminous, so I will take the time to coat on mascara. The only time that I maybe won't take the time to put on as much is if I am in a rush. I might put on a little less. But most of the time, I do still really like to take the time to really coat my lashes and make them as big and voluminous as possible. I think that is one of the keys of giving you a nice, fresh, awake, and bright face, is having big, voluminous lashes. It blows my mind how much it can just wake up your eyes. Sometimes if I'm in a really big hurry, I will just go in with blush, and that will be all that I'll do to my face, is just blush, maybe some chapstick, and I'll be out the door. I find doing that still gives your face a little bit of color so you don't look as ghostly white as I do now. but it is a quick way just to wrap up your makeup look, bring it all together without putting in too much effort with highlighter and bronzer as well. However, today I do have a bit more time, so I am gonna go in with a little bit of highlighter and bronzer just to warm up my face and give it, again, a nice bright glow awake look with that highlighter. Okay, so the bronzer that I have been using and loving recently is the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Soleil. And I actually heard Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars. She has her own YouTube channel, and she talked about this bronzer, and she said that almost all of her makeup artists carry this around because they're obsessed with it and it's so gorgeous. The fact that it's a drugstore product and makeup artists for celebrities are carrying it around, I was like, I have to try this bronzer. So obviously I am not the same shade of gorgeous tan that Shay Mitchell is, that is for sure. So I use a lot less than I'm sure she needs. I literally just tap my brush in the bronzer and run it across my face, and it's perfect for me. I don't need to swirl it in there at all. I just do literally one tap and put it on where I normally would put it on. I've also changed up the style of brush that I have been using for bronzer. I used to use a more tapered end brush to try to carve out my cheekbones, but more recently I've actually been going in with this bigger fluffy blending brush. It's kind of flattened out just a little bit. So what I do is I just tap one of the flat sides in it, like literally, boom. That's all the product I need. And then I just go over the hollows of my cheeks with that. And like, I feel like it just adds the perfect amount of slight tan to warm up my face. And it's more than in just that one strip of concentrated bronzer. It bronzes up a whole area. So I think it looks more natural. I still like to go up into my temples with it as well and bring it down to the side of my face. Alright, so bronzer is done. Next we're gonna go in with highlighter. I have been using this Urban Decay highlighter sample that I got in one of my Ipsy bags a while ago. So I'm just gonna take this tapered highlighting brush and dab it in the highlighter and put it right along the tops of my cheekbones to add that glow. I love some glow. So I did just run that highlighter on the tips of my cheekbones, center of my forehead, down the center of my nose, Cupid's bow, in the center of my chin. You don't have to do all those steps if you don't want to. If I am in a really big rush but I still want a little bit of highlighter, I'll generally just put it on my cheekbones and nowhere else. But again, today I wanted to be a little bit more extra, so I put it down the center of my face as well. Last but certainly not least, I'm going in with my Estee Lauder limited edition all over shimmer. Unfortunately, I don't think they sell this anymore. I did get it in kind of like a gift box thing for Christmas one year. But I really like how this blush blends with that bronzer that we used earlier, so that's why I'm using this blush. Obviously, any blush you choose will do. So I'm just gonna tap my Luxie blush brush in that and run it on the apples of my cheeks. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it for our no makeup look. Again, I apologize for any noise in the background from my dogs. When you have dogs, that just sort of happens, you know? I do want to add a disclaimer that you can do as much or as little of this as possible. On my absolute basic days, I will just do foundation, concealer, brows, mascara, and a little bit of blush. And that can take me 5 to 10 minutes, I would say. Maybe around 8 to 10 minutes, that's probably more accurate. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and end this video. I'm about to go film another video for you guys, so keep an eye out for that in the next couple of days. But until then, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And you can always follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, of course. Also, I just want to say, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make a Instagram for my dogs. Would that be weird? Like, one of my friends on Facebook did that for her dog, and now I'm like, I want want to do that to my dogs. So when I post this video, there might be an Instagram for them. So if there is, it'll be linked down in the description as well. I think I'm gonna make that for them today because I love them and I want to post pictures of them. But anyway, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys again for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.